Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Myself Ananda, and today we are going to explore MuleSoft CloudHub 2.0 shared space, and we will going to deploy some application and we will see what are the different offerings CloudHub 2.0 have. So let's go to Anypoint platform. So this is my Anypoint platform runtime manager. I'm going to deploy one application. So I have already created one simple application like this. Let me show you the flow. It has nothing but one simple transform message, which is just concatenate to hard-coded string value, and it will send back that value as a response. So it's a very simple application I have just created to deploy, to explore CloudHub 2.0 deployment on shared space. Because I don't have private space access on trial version, private space is not available. So this is my trial version account, and so we will restrict our video only with shared space. So first I will give a application name, say test dot or test hyphen CloudHub 2. And thing is that your application name need not to be unique across, globally, it's need not to be unique like it has to in CloudHub 1.0, because CloudHub 2.0 supports application name as long as, it's allow you to deploy with the application name as long as it is unique within the organization or within the environment. So everything is green tick. Now this is, you can see this is the shared space, and in trial version the default shared space is US East. But if you are on a licensed version, especially Titanium license, you can see there will be many shared space available across multiple region across the globe, and currently it supports 12 different regions. So runtime version I can select 4.3 and 4.4. So I'll go to 4.3. Below 4.3 is not supported by CloudHub 2.0. And replica size, if you watched my earlier video, we also discussed that there also I have mentioned that CloudHub 2.0 has provided more fragmented options. So earlier CloudHub 1.0 only have 0.1 vCore, 0.2 vCore, and then directly 1 vCore. But right now we have 0.5 vCore. Then again between 1 vCore and 2 vCore we have 1.5 vCore. So now we have more options in terms of sizing the replica. And one replica can have multiple, can be deployed at max on 4 vCores. Similarly, this is the number of replicas. So replica size means basically you are defining what is the capacity of that replica. And if we want to define replica, then replica is nothing but a MuleSoft instance, MuleSoft runtime instance on top of which the application, MuleSoft application, is running. And these replicas are actually using container to isolate themselves from other applications. So replica, number of replica maximum I can mention for one application as 8. And obviously, if I go on the higher side of it, I also need to ensure that I have the adequate capacity available as part of my license. Now, if I use one replica, this runtime cluster mode will not be enabled or available. If I go and try to deploy my application on multiple replicas, at least 2 replicas or more than 2 replicas, then this option will be available. So moment I am selecting 2 replicas, that means I am going to deploy my application on a high availability mode. Now, if I select this, then on top of high availability, I am also creating a runtime cluster. So what is the difference between runtime cluster and high availability? In run cluster mode, the nodes or replicas are going to communicate with each other and they can share data through they can access data through a shared memory space. But in case of high availability, if I don't go for cluster mode, it will be a collection of replicas, but they will not communicate with each other. And in the cluster mode, if I go to cluster mode, MuleSoft automatically manage through a internally managed reverse proxy. It will do a HTTP load balancing, and ingress traffic will be balanced across the replicas. So there are some advantages of cluster mode on top of high availability. So I can also use object store v2, and then I have two options in deployment model. One is rolling update, another is recreate. So if I go for rolling update, then what will happen? That if I deploy the application and then again I try to redeploy the application with a upgraded version or additional feature, while the deployment, the next version is getting deployed, my end user can still connect to or still able to access the service which is deployed on the old version of the application. But if I am going to use recreate, then while deploying the new version or an upgraded version of the existing application, while the deployment is going on, my end users cannot access the old version of the application. So we'll see to it a bit. Before that, let us deploy one application. So if I'm going to use 4.3.0, I'm going to use 1.1 vCore. I am not going to use any cluster mode. I'm just going to deploy it on one replicas, and let me choose a file. Let me upload one file. This is the jar file I already created. Okay, now deploy the application. So application will start deploying. Wait for some time. It will deploy. Yeah, so it start deploying. So it will take some time to get deployed. Let me pause the video, and once it deployment got completed, I will come back and continue this video. Hello friends, welcome back. So my application is now got deployed. Let's go to application section. Okay, so it is up and running now. So let us see the endpoints. So let's go to Ingress tab, and now you can see the public endpoint. And if you observe that by default it is HTTPS. So this is one more advantage of CloudHub 2.0 over older version of CloudHub, that by default it is publishing the public endpoint on HTTPS. So it is more secure. And if I go to this my AnyPoint Studio, I just want to show you one thing. So this is one more thing you need to know. So if I edit this, you see I have deployed this API or exposed this API on port 8081. So in in CloudHub 2.0, both HTTP and HTTPS are exposed or are using port 8081. Unlike CloudHub 1.0, where in shared load balancer, your HTTP is exposed on 8081 and HTTPS is on 8082. So here both HTTP and HTTPS are on 8081. So if I now test my application is functioning properly or not, let me go here. Let me add the endpoint. Let's see. So I am getting a expected response. So that means it's working fine on my, the application is got properly deployed and giving proper response from CloudHub shared space. So next thing is that if we go to properties tab. So like CloudHub 1.0, here also we can define some property if needed. I am just giving a test key and test value just to show you, because my application is very simple. It is not using any, I mean, I don't need any such kind of property setup, but in real life scenario, we often need to do this. And if I don't want anybody to see these values, especially if it is a password or if it is a PI value. So for password, I can make it secure, but for PI value, I can mark it as protect. So then nobody can, just then nobody can see my protected values. So if I want to update, I can replace the protected value. Say I can make it as test value 1, and I can apply. Again, nobody can see my value over here. And if I want to deploy this, delete this property, I can delete this property. And finally, this is the logging part. So now you can see, unlike CloudHub 1.0, in CloudHub 2.0, you automatically have this enable application log option. So if you uncheck it, it will stop sending log to, it will stop gathering application log, and log forwarding will be automatically stopped. So let it be enabled for now. And this is where you can select the log label. It's more or less like what we have in CloudHub 1.0. So now where we are going to focus more is that this feature, this rolling update and the recreate update. So to test this rolling update, as I mentioned, that the advantage of rolling update is that when you apply any change on this existing application, then even the change is getting deployed, end customer can still go ahead and connect to the old version of the application. And once the new version got deployed, then end customer can start using the new version instead of the old version. So let us do one thing. Let us stop this application, and then let's redeploy this application with a newer version. Let me change this application a bit. Go to message flow. I will not do anything fancy. Just instead of Virat Kohli, let us bring Rohit Sharma. And I will save this. Let me export it to the jar file. Now it is done. Let me go and apply let me go and again update this application file. So let me choose the file, upload the file from local, same file, going to upload, and I will apply the changes. So it's again getting deployed. So while it is getting deployed, while the change is still getting going on, I can hit this and still I can get the old result here. If you see, I'm getting still Virat Kohli. So that means I can still able to access the old version of my application. So let's go to log. It's yet not started. Yeah, still getting applying. And I'm still getting the response. So applying means it's the our changes are getting applied or getting deployed, but my old version is still available. So let me pause the video once again. Once it's done, once the version is up and running, okay, now since it's up and running, you don't need to pause it. Yeah, now I can see the updated version, updated output. So now my new version is activated. So new version is now working. So this is what is called uh, rolling update. Now, if we go to click on the application, and I just want to, instead of rolling update, I'm going to use recreate, and I'm not changing this time the application, any code modification I'm not doing. So straight away I am going to do a apply change. Let me see whether I can show it like this way. Okay, I am applying the change, and if I click, click, I think first I have to apply the changes because I have changes the deployed model. So apply changes still going on. So once it still allow me to, yeah. So once I apply these changes from a rolling update to recreate, then we'll see that what is the how recreate behaves different. So for the time being, let me see, the change is still getting applied. So for the time being, let me pause the video. Once it is get applied, I will come back and will continue. Welcome back, friends. So now my application deployment model is changed to recreate. So what we will do, we will again change this application. I mean, I will change the code a bit. So again, instead of Rohit Sharma, let's bring back Virat Kohli. And now we'll see how this change will get applied on my CloudHub 2.0. So let me save it, and then let me export it. And I'm going to export on the same location on the same jar file. Okay. And let me go here. Now let me choose upload the file from the same location, and when uploading it, before that I'm going to show you that. So this is the current output we are getting. Now let me put the file once again. Put the file and then apply the changes. Now it will start applying the changes. It's still running. Changes are not yet get applied. Okay, now it start applying the changes. So let us see if it is still available. Okay, it's still available now because it is still running. Yeah, now it's stopped. Now you can see the application got stopped while the changes are getting applied. So if I now hit this URL, it is not reachable anymore. So that's the difference between these two deployment models. One is this recreate and another is rolling update. So let me pause the video for a sec. So now my application, updated application got deployed. Let's try it once again. So now you see it's changed from Rohit Sharma to Virat Kohli. So that's all about CloudHub 2.0 shared space and deployment. So hopefully, hope you enjoy this video. If you like this video, please do like, share, and subscribe. And very soon I will come back with one more video related to MuleSoft or any technical topic. Thanks for being with me, and thanks for all your encouragement and support. Thank you. Bye.